3, 2, 1. What's up, every guy? What's up, everyone? Okay, so this is what happened. We were playing an RPG. Yes, this is an RPG episode, if you couldn't tell. But it was really cool. We had a lot of fun. My microphone ran out of battery, and then so long story short, we only have like 20 minutes of audio in between, which I of course edited. You're not going to listen to 20 minutes. It's not. You don't want that. So I really don't want this video to be very long. So let's just jump right into things. Woohoo! First off, here's our characters. We have Hoyt Lepierre, played by Wittershins, who is, in description, a poor child who was raised by frogs in the sewer systems of Paris. He now works for anyone who can understand him and his past. His number one goal is to protect and defend frogs that can't defend themselves. He respects frogs more than he respects himself. He would sacrifice himself for frog kind. Particularly fond of environmentalists, he works as a bouncer for the Deck of Diamonds. Excellent swimmer, not afraid of the water, however dirty it may be. He considers bugs to be a delicacy, but he's terrified of slugs and birds. Next, we have Oz Horton, played by the Duke. According to his description, after Barbara left him for criminal mastermind Jackson Snipes and took the kids with her, Oz fell into a depression and lost focus of his work. Losing his status as New York's third best detective, he spends most of his life crying in office, holding a picture of Barbara, or drinking at the Deck of Diamonds bar. Oz only works at night. After spending so long inside his office, he becomes increasingly afraid of what exposure to sunlight will do to him. He is famous enough to be recognized by name by people, and though reluctant, will be willing to work again as detective if he is personally moved by the case. His life goal is to lock up Jackson Snipes for his life and win back Barbara's love. Then, of course, we have Justice Hatter, played by Unnamed Child. He is a criminal mastermind who runs the Mad Hatters, a group obsessed with profiteering off of clothing lines and fashion trends. They do crime without much worry because they have connections to every clothing brand, sweatshop, and labor union from New York to Washington, D.C. Personally, Justice is a silver tongue, which is how he got to the top of the Hatters after convincing the previous boss to give up their leadership. And finally, you have me, Snickerdoodle, playing Snickolas McDoodles. He's not a very serious type, typically found cracking jokes or trying to lighten the mood, even during the darkest times. He's an underage bartender that takes care of the bar that his dad used to own before he passed away, after falling into a manhole. Now he runs the bar with the help of a few people. Since his ownership of the bar, he added fruit juices to the menu as a replacement for a lot of the alcoholic beverages. He's a little grabby stick to serve alcohol since he doesn't want to touch it. He's an overall charming fellow that cares more about the happiness of others than his own. Oh, and Lackadaisical's the game master, so she'll be playing basically what's essentially God and all the other side characters. So we start off at the bar. Everything's pretty normal. Snickolas is serving the finest of fruit beverages. Oz Horton is there, weeping as usual. Hoyt Lepierre is standing outside as the bouncer. And Justice is doing a bit of business talk with two fellows, one of them being a fellow named Mo. Suddenly light crashes. Light crashes. Suddenly lightning crashes. Suddenly lightning flashes, and the lights flicker out, the candles blow out, and then when the lights go back on, Snicks turns on all the lights. They find a man, Mo, dead on the floor. When of course Oz Horton goes to examine him, he finds that there are two bullet holes, each different sizes from seemingly different guns. The tie on him is flipped over onto his shoulder, and turns out that from investigating the drink he had in his hand, there seemed to be cyanide mixed with his pomegranate juice. There are a few extras that I don't remember, so I'm just gonna let Lackadaisical explain.
There is Della, There is the Fainted Violet. There is Von Coy. There's Jeb Jebbins. There is Donnie, and that's all.
Jeb Jebbins was a, like, weird conspiracy person. Donnie was a waiter. Della was this, like, pretty cool, but, like, kind of odd, murderous person. And Dr. Von Coy was one of the people doing business with justice. Dr. Von Coy was sort of hiding under the table, so I don't. It's not that important. He just kind of pops out of the table every once in a while. He was kind of hiding there because he was apparently scared of the lightning. Not sure what else to say, so enjoy the clip.
It was actually cyanide mixed into the pomegranate juice. This puts Snicks and Donnie at pretty bad place.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hello.
Hi.
So what do you conclude from this, Oz? Mr. Oz, what do you conclude from this?
I'm saying it seems like people were trying to murder this man at once.
I see.
I'm gonna search
One of which was probably you, Snicks, or your waiter, Donnie. Anyone who could have gotten in contact with this drink on its way from the kitchen.
I'm sorry. I don't even dare to touch alcohol. You think I dare touch cyanide?
Okay, so
Yes!
from hearing that information, I can deduce two things. One, that I want to search this person. Two, their tie was thrown over their shoulder, meaning that one of the people that shot them might have been very close to them before they died. And moved their tie.
Why would they do that?
I have no clue. But why else would their tie be over their shoulder? A gun couldn't do that.
You find his wallet, and inside is an ID that does identify him as Mo Graves. A business card that shows that he's with a lot of fashion industries, some of which you, a few of which you probably dealt with, and a few of which you haven't heard of. Most of which are very much along with your line of thinking, which is sweatshop good, environment bad. Who needs the earth when we can have like fancy scarves? Yeah. All that good stuff.
I'll walk up to Hoyt a little shaken after his intimidation and be like, do you have any affiliation with the police? Why are we not
No,
getting
sir.
that involved?
I am an independent contractor.
He is
I
indeed.
work for the Diamond Deck.
The deck of diamonds.
The deck of
The Deck
diamonds.
of Diamonds.
I work
I know
for
you're
check
distracted.
hand. Digamadoo.
Why is it our duty to solve this right now rather than getting the police involved?
I can actually pipe up with that one. Donnie says, well, that's obvious, isn't it? If we get the police involved, they'll arrest Snicks, too. I mean, he's, like, 4, and he's managing a bar.
Excuse me?
Sorry, like 8. I don't know.
You're like halfway there.
Hey, fine, you can be 12.
That's not
Also,
what 8
if,
times 2 is.
we don't properly know who's in this bar, the murderer could just leave scot-free if the police get involved.
Snicks,
Yes?
faking your age. Grow a mustache. Wow.
Roll for growing a mustache.
Bigger.
Wait,
It's bigger. It's bigger.
you know what, you have 4? Do it.
Do it?
Just because you have 4. Yes, do it just because you have 4.
Okay. I have 2 tens!
Over the course of the next session, it slowly grows out into the most like gorgeous handlebar mustache I've ever seen.
Like over the years.
By the end of the session, a quarter of your body weight will be mustache.
Pleasure talking to you, Hoyt. I'm gonna investigate behind the bar. Also, your hat's riveting.
Don't tell him that. He's very sensitive about frogs.
What did you say?
Scary Frenchman. The clip-on tie falls off like everything else in my life.
Can I go check on Fainted Violet?
Go ahead.
I'll just go walk over.
You examine her. You see that despite appearing to be fainted, her fists are still clenched.
Awfully suspicious.
Almost as if she's faking it a little bit.
I grab a little bit of fruit punch and kind of just pour it in her mouth to see if she'd cough.
That's cyanide!
No, it's not cyanide. It's just fruit punch.
She does start to choke up a little bit and wakes up.
How do you know that's not poison?
I drank it myself before I gave it to her.
Oh, she is awake now and fairly bewildered.
Do you know what happened?
What do you
know anything?
My heavens, I don't know. It seems I just,
Old-timey words.
I just fainted. It was a bit of an ordeal, I believe. The lights went out and there were some loud noises and just the stress got to me, I suppose.
Okay, well, don't panic. But someone died.
Like 5 feet away from
Going to
her.
her husband. Oh my heavens. And she kind of like starts to faint a little bit again.
I detect lies.
She looks at him confused, almost like that can't be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if she's lying.
About what?
About not knowing what happened.
Alright, I'm assuming the pair of tens is what you're gonna go with.
Yep.
Slowly but incredibly effective. You detect that something is amiss. This doesn't seem to be a surprise for her, but she does seem to be confused about it, almost as if she expected death, or she expected gunshots, or expected poisoning, or expected something of that sort, but did not suspect one of the other parts of it.
I announced to the group that what I can assume is that she knew this was going to happen, but she didn't know that someone else was going to take part in it. So someone else is also suspect.
Hoyt.
She says, excuse me, young man, I can still hear you. You're talking about my husband there.
Oh, you can't, that's too bad.
Hoyt, examine, can you go around and examine, if anyone has any weapons?
If you want to ask, just does anyone have any weapons?
Does anyone have any weapons?
I think
no one does anything. Are you kidding me? Wait, you had 3 10s?
Yes, I got 3 10s. I roll 11 dice.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have anyone oppose. Della pulls out a gun. McCoy's under the table. He pulls out a small gun. Jeb pulls out 2 guns. Donnie does not have a gun. Pretty much everyone has a gun, guys. Von Coy pulls out a gun. Jebens pulls out like 3 guns. He just has a coat full of them.
I really thought that this would narrow down our options. Later on, we find Jackson Snipes, Oz Horton's greatest rival. I'm not exactly sure what to say right now, so I'm just gonna list that off. Basically, what happened was Dr. Von Coy, Jackson, and Donnie were all murderers. Donnie poisoned the drink. Jackson and Dr. Von Coy were the ones who shot him because of the marshland situation. Turns out that they lift off their face masks to reveal that they were frogs the entire time. The frogs start attacking everyone, and Oz Horton sneaks around to the back of the bar, where he lights a match from his cigarette things and lights the bar on fire. The bank floods with frogs, and Oz Horton and Snicks, they're trying to escape along with Justice. Justice is China wants to chill with the frogs, but we take him anyway. We grab everyone and head outside. Hoyt stays with the frogs as they're in the bar, and then suddenly the bar explodes with fire. Hoyt dies in peace as he finally fulfills his destiny, throwing his hat out the window and committing his last action to saving the frog in his hat. After a while, everyone has pretty much a happy ending. Justice and Snicks make a business deal where Snicks now owns the plot of marshland, where he combines a new bar that he owns with the marshlands to coexist in a nice environment. And he has grown a mustache, a fabulous mustache. Oz Horton lives on to continue his detective work. As for Hoyt, he lives happily in Frog Heaven, and the burned down bar has been rained upon and created an expansion to the already expansive marshlands. Did we have a lot of fun playing this RPG? Absolutely. Was this a really good Squadcast episode?
I don't know. That's probably up to you.
Did I just make up that ending right on the spot?
Not exactly, but also kind of.
Am I running out of ideas of how to end this episode and I'm not exactly sure how to end it in the first place?
Absolutely.
Save the turtles.